Alright, so before you get angry at me right now, because I know you see the title of this, I just want each of you to look at your peers, please, just for a moment. Hey. Alright, thank you. Good job, guys. You just made judgments on each and every one of you. Nice. Your subconscious works actively the moment you look at a person. And it's really a survival instinct, but immediately you start to group them. It doesn't matter, like, your first interaction or later, you always judge someone based off of your former knowledge on who they are and any other people you associate with them. While the origin of this might have been a survival instinct, just to figure out what's dangerous, what's not, just like when we're little and we touch a kettle for the first time, ow, it's hot. We know not to do it the next time. But in sociology, this is a major point of studying because we figure out how people interact with one another and why they do so. But this also has harmful benefits, and it's the reason why we deal with such things as stereotyping these days. People have taken this survival instinct and they've turned it more as a way to put themselves on top of one another and how to actually judge someone before you actually get to know them. So why is this so important in high school? High school is probably one of the most diverse places for you to be. And it's a major place that people try to figure out who they are. But like this grouping aspect, the moment you meet someone, you make an immediate judgment. It's important that we learn how to interact with this so that we can start treating people as individuals. Sociology, in my opinion and in my experience, has taught me that yes, you can have these immediate judgments. It's not a bad thing, but you can't treat that person in the way that you can't have that prior judgment on them. You got to treat them with an open mind, and no matter who they are, where they come from, like, you can't treat them as if they're someone you already know. So, when it comes to high school, like I said before, we're in a very diverse area, and it is something that people just really struggle with, just to get across who they are and where they want to go, and the effect on their society that they don't know is what causes them to, what we say, go with the flow. While this is sometimes beneficial to some people, is they realize, oh, they want to be that person, the stereotypical jock, like I said, stereotypes. It's also harmful to a lot of people that are just like, they're trying to figure out who they are, and these labels that they've already assigned as groups, they find their need to stick themselves into each and every one of these, even though they don't need to. So this is just something I put together because it's really funny. And a great example of someone who broke the flow is the living Iron Man. Elon Musk, many of you know, is one of the biggest entrepreneurs out there right now. And I'm going to focus on his SpaceX exploration here. So when Elon Musk was in high school, he just designed video games with his friends. He was maybe considered a weirdo, we don't know. But when he went to college, he was following this societal norm of going to college to get an education that'll be his future career. So he went into general engineering. Now, how he ended up in SpaceX, those things don't really line up because they would require you to go to general engineering, then aerospace engineering, then on to start working in a company, and then working your way up to make your own company. That is what society has taught us. But Elon Musk, when he graduated college, he was a co-founder of PayPal. And then all of a sudden, on a whim, he thought, let me design an organization that's going to go to Mars. And that's what he did. He didn't have much specific aerospace engineering education like society would tell us to do. And he didn't really focus on making sure he could prove that he was part of society and he's able to get there because of what society has already told him. He just went, found some friends, talked about space, and then made his own company. All right, so also in sociology, and especially in high school, we treat very certain topics with sensitivity And it's important, especially as high schoolers, to be able to address this, because a lot of people get really uncomfortable with such things as wage differences, stereotypes, gender norms, political views, and like even religion. We all talk about it. We don't talk about it because it's considered taboo. It's really unfortunate how we can't talk about these things, but an important goal of sociology is to learn about each of these subjects and how you can address them in ways that will bring it up in society. And that's a major harm to our current society, and especially in our high school, because we don't talk about this enough. People get, as soon as one word's put out, as soon as someone says gay, there's some people that immediately shut themselves off from the conversation. It's really unfortunate, but we really need to learn what happens, where the different ideas come from, and to open our minds to each and every aspect so that when people get uncomfortable about certain topics, we can comfort them, and it doesn't matter about your political views and whatnot. You don't have to change your political views or anything, but you gotta be able to collaborate with people and work with them despite many different differences. So, the reason why I chose sociology in high school was because of money. Everybody knows that like we're gonna go off to college, you're gonna spend a ton of money on different classes, and especially sociology, as I found it becomes an emerging class, especially a gen ed class. It is ridiculously expensive to take it in college. So along with the benefits to being able to conversate with many different people in high school, you also look at a cost benefit, because we all know money makes the world turn. When you look at a super classes can range anywhere from $300 to $500, but when you come to go to a college and take one semester of sociology, you can be looking anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 on the initial payment. If you take that and then you include student loans and debts, and according to education, forgot the organization, that can range anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 for a class, for what is it, 4 months of a class, just to learn how to interact with different people. And it's becoming a very necessary class for a lot of careers. We talk about how anybody with human resources involved, you don't have to have one person human resources for it. There needs to be everybody there that is willing to to understand sociology and understand how it works. In my perspective, I'm going into nursing. I know that I have to take sociology. I'm going to be meeting hundreds of thousands of different people every day, and I gotta understand where they're coming from. I can't be uncomfortable talking about taboo subjects, as I was talking about earlier, and I just gotta be able to understand them and be able to cooperate with them, because the main goal of sociology is to learn how to be a team member without making any conflicts between one another. So, I want everybody to take sociology. It's really every single career out there. They might not say that it's a required class, but if you look into it, I can't think of one career out there where you sit alone 24/7, 365 days a year, and you just don't cooperate with anybody. You've got to be able to cooperate with everybody, and I think that's the main goal that sociology teaches us. So, to wrap this up, this is a quote that I did find on OpenStax, and I cannot find the author for it, but basically it's saying that sociology opens our minds to being able to accept the diverse world, and a very diverse world we deal with now, and not be able to push yourself away from that or create your own perspective on that world, but it helps you open up to be able to interact with that world without harming yourself by closing yourself off. It's very important not just to develop political views, because we all know that it really is a minefield out there. You gotta watch where you step. Because everything in this world seems to be wrapped in a political stance, and if you're put one idea, you gotta be this side or this side, and it's really unfortunate, but sociology as a class has taught me, and I hope it can teach many other people in the future, that we can learn to understand these topics and you can treat it as a topic itself and just being able to converse about it. And yeah, that's pretty much it.